This week on TGC News, new rifles from Jard, Colt and Ruger, and handguns from EAA, and an Insurrection. Welcome back to another episode of the Gun Collective News, the only gun news show that covers things that you actually care about. My name is John Patton. Hello, welcome back. It's great to have you here. If you want to know a little bit more about that wall that's behind me with all the guns and all the cool stuff, hit the link in the video description. Let's kick this week off with some industry news, some gundustry news, as it were. Savage Arms is getting a new CEO. It was announced yesterday that the current president and CEO, Al Casper, will be retiring after over 25 years with the company, and in his place, Chris Bezina will step up to the role of CEO. Casper is set to remain on the board of directors, so basically he's still involved. The new guy has been with Savage since 2007, and with that in mind, it's hard to say if we will see any real innovative stuff come from the brand, but I guess time will tell if they push beyond just a bolt-action brand. Yes, I am aware that they offer more than that, but the focus with them is clear, and that's pretty much what everybody thinks. Czechoslovak group, who you know from such hits as buying the ammo brands from Vista Outdoor and a bunch of Fiocchi, has made another big acquisition. They recently purchased the majority stake in high-end shotgun brand Perazzi. Now, Perazzi is not exactly mainstream with some of our audience, so if you don't know, they're based in Italy and only produce about 1,500 guns a year. This adds to CSG's majority stake in another Italian company, like I said, Fiocchi. I'm looking forward to see if we get another, giant Remington-style collapse in about a decade, or if we see these Czech-owned brands really grow. Time is the ultimate decider on that one. You know what else time decides? How your grandkids will like the guns with Wooks furniture on them. The new Gladiator from Wooks is the way to take your Mossberg shotgun from this to this. The stock and forend are both made from American walnut and feature nice texturing all around to get that extra grip. The forend also has M-lock slots, while the rear end can be had in either a full stock or a bird's head style grip. And it's now available for the Remington 870 platform. To go from yawn to whoa, head over to wooksstore.com and use TGC 10 at checkout. We've got tons to cover this week, so let's keep it moving. First up, John Lovell of Warrior Poet Society has partnered with Daniel Defense to make a signature model called the WPS M4A1, but we'll just call it the War Poet rifle. This comes with a Holosun optic on a Unity riser, a bunch of Radian parts, some grip panels, a sling, and holy shit, it's $3,000. Wow, that's a lot. The base rifle that this is born from, the M4A1 R3, is just shy of 2,400 MSRP, which is crazy because for some reason, I still had DD rifles in my head as like, they're 1,800 bucks. I was wrong. But if we look at the optic combo alone, you're adding another 500-ish worth of gear, plus the Radiant stuff. The price does line up, but damn, that caught me off guard. Sound off if you're a big fan of John Lovell and are considering grabbing one of these. I would love to have a signature model. I just can't think of any brand that would actually do that with me. Colt released a new version of their CBX bolt action line. We saw their precision style version of this a while back, and this new one is called the TAC Hunter. It's chambered in .308, has a 5-round mag, 20-inch threaded barrel with a 1 in 10 twist, and a synthetic stock that appears to lean more tactical than hunter. This reminds me of the old 20-inch Remington 700s with the Hogue overmolded stock, but a sort of updated version of that. MSRP on this is $1 short of $1,000, and I suppose you have to ask yourself, would you be getting this over other similar options? I don't know. EAA has a couple new ones for us this week in the MC14 line. We saw the MC14T tip-up gun not super long ago, and now we've got some non-tipping versions. There is the BDA and G84 versions. They are essentially remakes of the Beretta 84 and the Browning BDA. Both can be had in two-tone. Both have 13-round mags, ambi safeties, and 3.8-inch barrels. And before anyone asks, the only parts that I'm told swap are the mags. MSRPs are $360 for the all-black and $381 for the two-tone. A company called Jard has released a bit of an odd one. It's called the JARBA AR bolt action, or JARBA. The JARBA is a bolt action in the form factor of an AR-15. It has a 20-inch barrel with a 1 in 9 twist for whatever reason. It can be had with or without threads on the barrel. It uses standard AR mags and has a proprietary upper and trigger system. They say that any trigger besides theirs will render the gun non-operational. That's fine if their trigger system is actually good, but the jury's still out on that. The full spec version of this MSRP here is $13.43. I thought that sounded like a lot until I saw the other bolt action AR company, Uinta Precision's pricing. The UP rifle in 223 Wild with a somewhat similar setup is 2 Gs, but it can use any AR trigger and has a sub MOA guarantee. I struggle with products like these. I want one because it's kind of weird, but I don't really know what I would use it for besides like, hey, check this thing out. It's kind of cool, right? Like that kind of shooting? I don't know. SIG has a couple new guns this week. First is the Cross Trax. This is meant to be a lighter weight version of the Cross that will be handy for getting deeper into the wilderness. You know, carrying a lighter rifle is not a bad thing. It's only available in 308 with a 16-inch barrel, has a skeletonized M-lock handguard, a low-profile bolt knob. Okay, low-profile bolt knob, is that a thing now? And what they're calling the leg bone minimalist stock. The rest of us are calling that a ripoff of the JMac Custom skeleton stock. MSRP is, of course, not listed as per usual with SIG, so make it up in the comments. To be fair, I think this version of the Cross could be kind of cool if it shoots well. SIG also released a new version of the 322. Now, the 322 is an excellent rimfire trainer. We reviewed it and really liked it. This new version is called the 322 Comp. It comes with a compensator, to add weight and cut down on the massive recoil of the 22LR. I can't even get through that. It has what they're calling a sport takedown lever, but it's actually a gas pedal. Then there's the extended mag release, and it comes with 120 and 125 round mag. Rad. The slide also has the Romeo Zero optic and a charging handle right on there. This is complete out-of-the-box rimfire competition setup. I suspect it won't be cheap though. The MSRP on the regular one's like $500-600, and this will probably be like $700 to $800 with all that gear, and will likely be a solid gun, no doubt. Before we get into some more new guns, how about the deal of the week? You guys enjoy that, right? If you've been looking for a good optic, but haven't wanted to pull the trigger because prices are silly, I've got something for you. Crimson Trace has a bunch of optics for half price right now. If you use our link in the description, of course. I've got a few of their optics, and I really like them so far, and I figured why not share this with you guys. Half off an optic when you need one is amazing, and I can confirm this is the cheapest price for these on the internet. Link is in the description. Ruger announced something fairly big for them this week. It's the second generation of the Ruger American rifle. Now, if you didn't know, this platform has been the foundation of all their bolt actions for years now, so seeing a second gen is a big deal. It looks like the changes come in a few places. First is the safety. They've added a third position, it doesn't make it a machine gun, that locks the gun and prevents the bolt from being opened. Okay. They also added a length of pull spacer to take 1 3/4 inches of length out of the stock. It doesn't add, it takes it out of the stock. That's cool if you want to get your kids out shooting or hunting or whatever and want the gun to fit them better. Like, fitting the gun better is great. The stock also has a sort of Monte Carlo style comb that comes with a low riser installed, but apparently you can take that off and use it with like a red dot. That's great. I like that. They're also shipping these with threaded muzzles across the board, and they all come with a brake. That's wonderful. And with the exception of the big bore, all of the barrels have a spiral flute on them, which is super nice looking, and it saves on weight, helps with heat dissipation. MSRP on the standard model with 20-inch barrel is $729, and the Ranch with the slightly shorter 16-inch barrel is also $729. I suspect they will come out with a more affordable, less fancy version of this gun at SHOT Show in a month, but for now, this is a rad way to launch this Gen 2. Calibers available on launch will be 5.56, 300 black, 7.62 39, and 450 Bushmaster in the Ranch version, adding a few calibers like 7.08, 243, 6.5 Creed, 204 Ruger for the standard. They're also teasing 350 and 400 Legend, 6 ARC, 6 Creed, 6.5 Grendel, 6.5 PRC, 300 Win Mag, 30-06, 270 Win, 7 PRC, and 22 ARC in the standard version. Man, that is a lot of options. I want the 300 Black, or maybe like the 6.5 PRC, maybe 7 PRC. We've got even more new guns this week, this time from a legendary brand. This one is from Cabet. And before you click away because you're as poor as I am, let's dig in. Give me a second here. It's called the Insurrection, and it is the first ever double stack from Cabet. For those that do not ball out of control, they are a premier 1911 brand, some of the nicest on the planet. And this is a huge deal to see. At its core, you have a stainless steel frame and grip, 5-inch barrel, 3.5-pound trigger. It can be had with an optic mount, and you can also get it with a ported barrel or a threaded barrel. It comes with 17-round mags standard. You get 2. It should be 3. The mags will swap with 2011 mags, which is cool. And overall, it's just a beautiful gun. They say lead time is 8 to 10 months, which is just wild. And the price, well, it starts at $6,000. And fully spec'd out with an optic, threaded barrel, gold bead front sight, extra mags, and a hard case is north of $7,800. That is clearly, that's not cheap. We knew that going into this. However, we can take away a couple things. First is that a legendary brand has shown the industry that this category of double stack 1911 is important enough for them to get involved. This also shows us what the newest top tier looks like on this platform. If Wilson Combat is like, say, a Mercedes S-Class, this is the Maybach. They both work great and are definitely like luxury items, but this one is more of a status symbol and in theory is that much nicer. Hey Cabet, I'm on the other side of the state that you guys are based in. Call me, let's hang out. Please let me shoot one of those. I know the audience wants to see it. Oh, and because I won't see you guys next week, have a Merry Christmas.